I had a dream that there was some big play at Cottonwood, and me and my mom and Danielle went there for the first half of it, and it was really good. And it was just really real. Looking at one point, they like opened the stage and they like recreated a Titanic scene with the iceberg, and it was just really good. And then afterwards, my mom left before Bayless started talking, and I had gone with her, but then I came back because I had left my purse and everything in the chair where I was sitting. And so I sat back down and I realized that I should probably stay because I haven't stayed for a church in a long time. And then I called her and I asked her, I told her she should probably come back. And she said, like, you're right, yeah, I should come back. And then I saw that my sister was just sitting a couple seats down. And then I got a text from my mom saying, like, that she found my Oprah card from when I was a baby. And I could tell that she was preoccupied and she wasn't gonna come back. And then the service eventually was over. I remember I moved closer to Danielle and these two Asian guys took my seat, and when I tried to go back for them, I saw that one of them was sweating profusely, and so I didn't want to sit there anymore. Everyone in the theater was sweating really bad, myself included, but it was like normal. And so the people that I was sitting next to, now that those people had stolen my seat, they were sitting next to me also, but then moved down a seat to make a space between us because we were all sweaty and he didn't think that I would want his sweat all over him. Then after the show, we were at some like Cottonwood gas station, and this guy with like weird facial hair came up to Danielle and I. At first, I know I was wearing yellow pants, and he like whistled and told me how cute I was or something. And then when I walked over to Danielle, he had made a comment about how he like couldn't believe that like two such beautiful girls were like twins or something. And then he handed us this like little questionnaire. First he asked me something and I said I would really fucking appreciate it if you didn't talk to me. And he looked really surprised. And then he gave us the questionnaire, which asked us like a bunch of questions, like our name and like just different things about us. And I told Danielle, I said, don't fill that out. And then she just like was really just like naive and didn't care, and she kept saying like, oh, like, Angie, it's not a big deal. And so she kept talking to him, and I kept saying like, don't fucking answer him. And she didn't write her name on the questionnaire, and he asked her why, and she said like, oh, because like, you know what I look like, you have photo evidence, like basically telling him like he didn't need her name because he knew what she looked like. And then I grabbed the little form out of her hand and ripped it in his face, and I told him to go fuck himself, and he looked really shocked and like pissed off. And then he had brought in some person, like a big fat black guy, and he told me he was some famous person. I can't remember who. And I knew it wasn't the famous person. He was just trying to get me to be comfortable with him or something. And I was just like, I know you're not this person. And then what felt like the next day, he brought in this big fat white fucker and said that he was John Goodman. And he kept like harassing us, and he kept asking, at one point during the dream, I was like walking through a hallway trying to get away from him, and he asked me if my pussy was shaved. And I was like, I think I was crying at this point, and I was just leaving, and then he yelled after me. He said, it's okay, I'll find out when you're yelling for mercy or something, basically telling me that he'll find out like when he's raping me or something. And at this point, I'm like so fucking in distress. And of all people, I'm walking out of these doors into a hallway. Like, there are the doors that lead to the auditorium from a hallway. And I'm standing in the doorway, and then Mila Kunis is standing in the doorway, and I'm telling her, and I'm sobbing at this point. I'm telling her everything that happened, like, and he told me this, like, while I'm crying out for mercy, and she looks really worried, but she's not really getting it. And then somehow I remember, in the place of Mila Kunis, my brother shows up, and I'm trying to explain it to him, and I'm just like, can't even contain myself. In actuality, when I woke up, I was like shaking like I was crying, but there were no tears, like I was doing the movements of crying. It was weird. But anyways, so my brother is standing in the doorway now, and I'm explaining to him everything I had explained to Mila Kunis, and he was really worried. And then, right as I finish the story, I turn around from the doorway, and Donna from Twin Peaks, I can't remember her name in real life, Laura Flynn Boyle, she's looking at me, and she said something like, I was eavesdropping, basically letting me know that since I didn't know that she was there listening, she knows that I was telling the truth. And then at that moment, I felt like the most intense kind of relief, because I knew that since she knew that I was telling the truth, she was going to do something about it. Like, she walked past me into the auditorium, like, up to those people, and that's when I woke up. But, like, as she was walking in, it was like a slow motion kind of thing, and I was, like, crying so hard, just fucking sobbing, and I was so just fucking happy that she was gonna do something, because I felt like the whole dream nobody could help me. That was it.